Good evening out there, you all. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope you're doing good. I thought I'd come on here tonight and just have a little chat with you, see what's going on, see what's been happening. As you can see, I have once again changed my YouTube channel name. I apologize for the confusion that might have caused some people, but I decided to go back to the original, almost exactly what my original YouTube name was, just for historical purposes. And just thought I'd come on here and tell you folk about that tonight. Anybody out there got anything they want to chat about, talk about, ask questions about? Feel free to type your question in. I'll see what I can do to answer it. The channel will be just like it was in the beginning, only I will still be doing the live preaching services on here because that's just one of the things that I'm called to do, and that's what I'm going to have on my channel. My I think that's just as important as you can get you can do things to make your flesh survive, but preaching of the Word of God will help you understand how to get your soul to survive as well, and that's what that's about. So I did change it back to almost identically the original name that I had. I had to just leave a couple of letters out of it so that I wouldn't offend you know who. So the reason I changed the name in the beginning there. But I appreciate you people that's hung out with me all these years. It's been since YouTube was YouTube, and there has been people here who have stayed with me this whole time, and like I've got probably close to 1,000 videos on YouTube now, so getting close to 7 million views as well. Hey Terry, how's it going this evening, brother? Anybody out there got any questions they'd like to ask? Who's been using anybody out there been using any herbs for anything this year? What you say there, Uncle Sasquatch? And there he is, Peter. Well, I appreciate that, brother. I really do. I was asking the question here: has anybody out there been using any herbal remedies this year? And if you used a natural remedy, what did you use it for, and how did it work? Who is anybody else out there got anything that they have used? You know that I use herbs. You can see my cabinet right here, just like full of them. So I've been using several different ones this year. The wild lettuce, the rabbit tobacco, uh, just several different things for pain and aches and rub-ons and things like that because I'm old. Has anybody else been using anything that they've heard about that they tried that worked? I'd like to hear about that tonight if you don't care. What about you, Uncle Jimmy? What have you been using, brother? Use goldenrod. Yep, goldenrod will make you go to the potty pad really a whole lot there. It also works for other things, but it sure does make you urinate good. Jimmy, you're blessed, brother. You don't need any herbs, do you? You just a young feller. What about folks? Anybody out there been using anything? Like I say, I've been using some rabbit tobacco for the sinus. Once you get this particular sinus thing here this time of the year, seems like it takes it an awful long time to go away. But I know that rabbit tobacco sure does work really good for it. And also, you all, I'm going to tell you this: I'm going to be coming up with a new T-shirt design. Now, I'm not going to purchase and give away t-shirts this time, but I will when I get the design, online the way that I want it. My wife is going to be working on that design for me. And when we get that set up, I'll come on here and tell you all if you want a t-shirt or something like that, where you can go on there and purchase you a t-shirt. It will be green in color like my original shirt and have almost the very same logo on it, but with just a few little tweaks that I want to have on there. When I first come on YouTube, brother Jimmy there will tell you I had my own shirt design and all that stuff, and also had my own sort of like my own handwritten logo on there. On I think on one of them. But anyway, that's going to be available on the shirt this time as well. And if you want to go on there and get you one, you certainly can do that. I'm not going to charge. I'm not going to make any money off of it, and because that's not what I'm about. I just want to have that shirt available. I've got grandkids that one day, hopefully, they will grow up and they will go online and they'll be searching for stuff and they'll see their grandpa's stuff online, and then they can go through the history of that and say, hey, you know who my grandpa was? He was Uncle Sasquatch, or he was Mike Reed, or he was Bland County survival man, not survivor, but survival man. So I was online here in this on the county website last night, and my link is still the people who set up the website, Mr. John Dotson. If you don't know anything about Bland County, you can go on, you can search Bland County, Virginia historical archives, and there's just all kind of historical things on there about the county. And he's got my link set up on there as Bland County Survival Man, and that's one of the reasons I decided to change that back so that for historical purposes, that people could go on there and search for that, and that's how they would find it. Because years ago, when I first started out, I had people emailing me from I'm literally all over the world, using that particular name right there. So hopefully that works out good. That's right. That's what I'm going to be using. Let me see if I can read who you are there, Jumper Man. I've already changed the name back to that. If you look on my site now, I will be using Bland County, the Bland County Survival Man. Just changed a couple of letters in it, okay? And I appreciate that if you folks would share that around, share it on Facebook, whatever you want to do. If you don't care, that way that people will know that. And there's not a lot of people for some reason or another, like some of the things that I put on my channel. But hey, that's okay as well. Yeah, you got to look up your plants there, brother, in the spring of the year when they start popping up out of the ground. Unless you're really knowledgeable in those plants, and especially if it's something that comes back every year, you can go get that plant in the wintertime. You can go get that root and use it. Plant won't be any good, but you can still get the root if it's a plant that comes up every year. And I do that as well. It'll still come up like that. It sure will. But sooner or later, it'll break down. I was searching for that particular old name there the other day. And man, I tell you what, I didn't know I had as many haters on YouTube as I've got. But when you got a lot of haters on there, that you're really being effective. because I sure, folks, got a lot of haters on YouTube and other sites as well. They get them videos and they share them and they talk about them, and I just laugh when I see it now. It's used to be something that bothered me in the beginning, but now it don't bother me at all. What you say, brother Earl? How are you tonight, brother? I changed it back to the original name, Earl. And Earl, buddy, that knife you give me is really super nice, sharp knife. I don't have it downstairs right here. I'd hold it up on this live. Appreciate that, buddy. And the little bracelets. Tony, I'm doing fine tonight. How about yourself? So remember, I'll still be doing my preaching lives on Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, and Saturday nights. And I hope you all are watching and praying for me, and so that we can see people come into the kingdom of God. That's what we're about here. Getting people to come in and realize that they need the Lord Jesus Christ and come into the kingdom of God. See what you're saying there. You know what? That muzzle loading season, I think is just now going out. That later muzzle loading season. I didn't do it. I really don't need that many deer. Just me and my wife together. We don't eat an entire deer in the season, so uh, I just don't go out there and just kill all the deer that I can kill, because I just don't do it that way. We sure do, Peter. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm using a magnifying glass to read with. See here, I'm looking at you writing with a magnifying glass, so I don't, put my big old fat head right up in the middle of the screen. I was looking at some of them lives, and where I get right up in the middle, right up on the screen, I look like my head's as big around as a basketball or something. Look kind of weird. How many deer did you folks kill out there? Earl, did you kill any deer this year? That nephew of yours, did you all shoot some? Hello there, Brother Thomas. How are you tonight, brother? How's everything across on the other side of the mountain over there? Wow, man, that's too bad, Earl. I hate to hear that. I hear you, brother. I sure do, Thomas. I haven't watched that Tubal Cain. I rarely ever have the television on unless the little woman is at home, Miss Libby. If she's here, I watch TV. Other than that, I'm doing something else, or I'm reading or studying something or making something in the shop or hunting or just something out here in the woods. Studying herbs is my favorite thing to do. So, one of my favorite things to do. Earl, I've only found one 500-year-old arrowhead in my life, and I found that a couple of years ago. Over in West Virginia, I was headed to a cave over there where my grandfather and them had some people who they knew them and stayed there every once in a while. And I never found one. I just strolling along, and it was muddy, and it was after a rain. And you wouldn't have thought that far off of the road, which was way, way, way off the road, and off of the main drags, the main New River. I know you know where the New River is, and I don't know if you know where Oakville, West Virginia is, Earl, but there's the state fish hatchery down there now. You can go way back in that mountain to this huge place where there was several different homesteads and settlements and farms. And I was going back in there just basically just goofing off like I do. And I just happened to look down and I saw something that looked like an arrowhead. Sure enough, I picked that arrowhead up and looked at it and cleaned it off. And I done some research on it. And that particular one is a real shirt arrowhead, but it's over 500 years old. Cool. We need to start learning these plants, you all, because folks, one day I guarantee you, you're gonna have to start knowing how to use them. I don't know why you got more down south than I've got up here in the northern country there, Earl, but I guess they just was plenty of Indians down there that lived in that area. I see people. Some guys got this YouTube channel down there. You probably watched him, Nugget Noggin. He's always out there with his metal detector. Got like 10 billion views on YouTube now. He's always finding arrowheads down there where he lives, somewhere in North Carolina. I think it might be over there next to Boone somewhere. But I've always been looking for them. Now, I did find a hammerstone. I did find a good hammerstone down here in Wolf Creek, right there next to Rocky Gap. Are you from North Carolina, Peter, or do you live in North Carolina? That's just a stone throw from Bland County, Virginia, between the tunnels. Well, we sure did that. That's for sure. Yes, sir. We sure did. We sure did. Yeah, Earl. I know exactly where that's at, buddy. Drive by there, across the mountain there all the time. Went on a big old long hike there a few years ago, a 20-mile hike from old 99 over next to where it comes out at Pulaski, all the way back up there to the top of the mountain. You might have watched that video. From Richmond, we're about 5 hours north of Richmond, or that would be west of Richmond. We're about exactly 5 hours, Tony, from west of Richmond. You know where Withville, Virginia is? It'd be right there where 77 turns north, and you just come up between the two tunnels. That's where Bland County is. But you all do go on do go on Bland County historical site there and check out some of the things about Bland County. You know, there's very interesting history that you can learn about your particular county as well in on those sites, because you know you got local historians that's their thing, that's what they do, and they keep up with it. You can find deceased relatives. I mean, people who served in the Revolution, and you know, of course, the Civil War and different wars. They have those. Lots of them have those people's names on there and in there where they're buried, who their families were, and all that. And I found out some really interesting things about my particular family here. Oh yeah, drive down to Parisburg all the time. I was down there earlier this week, last week, there, Earl, and just looking for herbs. Basically, is what I was doing. Yeah, Thomas, I get on the Appalachian Trail a lot of the times right out here next to Dismal Falls and hike back through the mountain. I was on it this weekend when I did that video I did about the Herbal Trail. Is right off of the Appalachian Trail. It goes up to the top of Sugar Run Mountain, which is the highest point right here in this neck of the woods, close to me, in other words, where you can look way down towards Parisburg, Wilburn Valley, on back towards Narrows. Really a beautiful view up there. But boy, I tell you one thing, it's windy up there this time of the year and cold. Some big old huge deer up in that neck of the woods. Thomas, did you watch that last video I done about the Herbal Trail? I didn't really appear on it. I just shot some video and done some pictures, and then just did a just talked about it on the video. You know, just over voiceover. Thomas, I bet you know exactly where Oakville, West Virginia is, don't you? That's where my grandparents are from, on my dad's side of the family. But there's a place down there called Pigeon Creek, and that's where the state fish hatchery is, one of the state fish hatcheries. And then there's another private fish hatchery up there where there's this humongous spring that's just gushing water, been gushing since I was a kid, and I guess gushing since the good Lord made the world over here. And they raise trout there. All right, so you know where that you know where the fish hatchery is there, uh, Thomas. That particular piece of property right there, where you go up in there and then go on up on the mountain there and go on that hunting land, that used to belong. Part of that land belonged to a people called the Caldwells. Mary and George Caldwell's farm was there. I found that arrowhead there. There is a huge cave up there right behind where their house was sitting. That's exactly where that was. And that's called the Tate Lure Hunting Preserve now. Sure is. That's where my grandfather Reed, uh, Bob Robert Reed, was a Pentecostal preacher, and he lived to be 90, almost 99 years old. And that's where they stayed for their honeymoon when he married my grandma. They went up to the Caldwell farm and they stayed up there, either in the Caldwell house or some little cabin that was up there on that farm. Used to be a very beautiful place. You know, it's all growed up now, and if you go back in there, it's covered with stones, and I mean, it's limestone all over the place. That's where Grandpa and Grandma spent their honeymoon when they got married in Oakville, West Virginia, at a prayer meeting. I have his Bible. I have to get that out and show that one night. Yeah, you turned right and went up Pigeon Creek that way, Thomas. That's where the Browns farm is. Right under what they call Jesse's Butt Mountain. And that place up in there just exactly like it used to be, Thomas. I mean, it's just there's no humongous things built or anything up in there. Tony, I sure do. I've got it, and I didn't hunt with it this year neither. I started to, then we started having all that foul weather, and I'd already killed a deer, so I just decided not to hunt with it. I love that little gun though. You're talking about that 50 caliber flintlock that I built. Thomas, that cemetery down there in Oakville is one of the first cemeteries, oldest cemeteries in Mercer County. The sheriff of Mercer County is buried in that cemetery. Yeah, I know what you mean, buddy. Did you build one of them guns, or did you buy one of them? Or, Lord, I looked at the price of them things here during Christmas time, and they done went up $200 from the time that I bought that kit right there. Now, if you all want to see somebody that knows how to build one of them, you need to watch Uncle Sasquatch Outdoors. I hope Jimmy's still on there watching. Watch him. He's building a very, very nice flintlock rifle. Just a little his little series, and he's showing how to put it together. And I think you really enjoy that if you just go on there and look up, if you ain't already, Uncle Sasquatch Outdoors. That's my buddy Jimmy Newton, and he will show you how to build a flintlock. No, Thomas. This one, when you come in, when you first get off 460 there, and you come down to Oakville, you'll pass the high school, and then the Oakville Cemetery is there on the right. But now it is full of Revolutionary War and Civil War uh, people. The cemeteries that you go find up in Pigeon Creek are family cemeteries. They're not, like the local cemetery. Yeah, tell them about it there, Jimmy. Yeah, there's Jimmy Newton on there, folks, my buddy, Uncle Sasquatch Outdoors. If you want to see if you want to see his rifle being built, go on his channel, and he's going to show you different, at different stages of the game, how he's, putting this and that on the gun, and very interesting. I think you'll really like it. Well, now you know what? The only Uncle Sasquatch, the Sasquatch that I've ever seen, he is a big feller. I'm not kidding you. I've never seen one actually in the woods, but I met one in down in Tennessee there, right the other side of Nashville. This dude is this Sasquatch is a big feller, but he didn't hurt me at all. I mean, he was just as nice as he could be. And I'll be honest with you all, I don't believe in the Sasquatch. I've been too many places in the mountains where in the nighttime where if there was a Sasquatch in he ought to have come out and got me. But now, if you believe in Sasquatch, that's okay with me. I mean, I really don't mind. But I personally think it's big bear's feet that they're seeing. That's what I think. But that's just my opinion. But if you believe in the Sasquatch, that's perfectly fine with me. People got different opinions about that. Hello, Rhonda. How are you tonight? I hope you got a question. You know that my wife uses that Yulee chopper that Earl made for me, don't you? We are chopping up pizzas. As a matter of fact, we chopped up a pizza last night with that particular little item. Works really good. That would be a good one. That would really, really be a good one for sure. Is that a common caliber there, Jimmy? I don't know. Is 56 caliber? Is that a common? I got a 54. Yeah, I broke down there and made a couple of them things there, Rhonda, for some people and sent them to them. I ain't really got no feedback, but I can tell you one thing: mine works good, and I use it all the time. Cut up sandwiches, uh, you know, whatever you're working on there in the kitchen, you do. I just got it hanging up there on the wall, and just chop up the vegetables and stuff with it, and it works really good. And there's Libby there, Rhonda. That's my wife there talking to you. Wow. Well, he'll have to put that on. He can sell some more of them. I'd some saw blades to do it with, don't he? Rhonda, next time you and Earl are driving by up here, won't you stop up here and see us? We'd be glad to give you a cup of coffee or anything else that we can go out and get for you. Anytime. Just let me know when you're coming through and you can come on out here at the house and sit down. We'll just have it. Tell Earl to bring his guitar and he'll have to show me how to play because I don't know how to play. Yep. That Sharps would be a good gun for sure there, Tony. I know one thing. I'm getting as old as I'm getting a little bit tired of this cold weather now. How about you folk? I'm just about ready for springtime to get here so I can go get me some ramps. Y'all get finding any ramps down there anywhere, Rhonda? I know they got them in North Carolina because I was at the flea market down there at right on the border there one day, and there was a woman down there had a load of them. I can beat out a little bit of a rhythm there, but not really good. Thomas, no, buddy, but I was thinking about that the other day. I think I'm going to go down there and cook in one of them Indian ovens. Have you ever seen them Indian ovens? I bet it is cold up there. What do y'all think about them people getting washed away out there in California? That's terrible. Just storm after storm after storm. All right, Thomas, let me tell you exactly how to find them, brother. You go down there to Brush Creek Falls and you stay on that upper path. Don't go down that creek like I did. For goodness sakes, don't do that. It is, you'll get hurt. You'll fall in that creek and get hurt. Go down that upper path. I know, that goes down there to that other set of falls. When you get down there to where that road, where that path makes that turn, and you can look down and see the Bluestone River, finds you a way down right there, and you'll go right over there, and it's where the Bluestone and Brush Creek comes into Bluestone. That's exactly where they're at. Well, thank you there, TC Redneck. I got a lot of views on one of them on there, Peter. We need to keep those California folks in their prayers. We sure do. We sure do. Yeah, Thomas. Where they enter, where they come together right there, where you'll see a lot of people fly fishing there sometimes. But man, it's hard to get down in there to that. So be careful when you go down over in there. And by the way, they are working on redoing that whole trail down through there now. They had it surveyed through there the last time I was down there and done that particular video. They had survey markers through there so that they must be going to either widen it or something to make it safer, because there's places there that if you fell off of it, it would probably kill you. It looks to me like it may be 80 or 90 foot down in over the side of that in some places. Well, it looks like we got lots of folks in here tonight anyway, chatting. That's good. That's good. There is. There's a lot of things to be discovered in here, and I'm still looking for it. That's my thing. I get out and just explore, and since I'm retired now, I got plenty of time to do that. So I just get out and goof off in the mountains. That's one of my things. And if I find some good old herbs while I'm out there, I might just pick some up and bring them home and utilize them. Well, Jimmy, that 56 there. Tell me where that. I mean, I know you said that's not a common caliber, but how'd that come about anyway? Is that just some gun maker decided that he had to have a 56 instead of a 54? They sure are. And I've been living in them all my life. But I lived in North Carolina when I was in the 82nd Airborne. I lived at Fort Bragg there in Fayetteville there for 3 years. But other than that, I've spent the rest of my life right up here on right in 20 miles from Princeton, West Virginia, where I was born. And that's pretty typical of people. If you look at statistics, most people are living within about 20 miles of where they were born, as a general rule. No place like home. Certainly ain't no place like the good old Appalachian Mountains. All right, you all. I'm not going to keep you any longer tonight. I just did want to come on here and tell you about the channel name change and make sure that the people wasn't confused and why I did it. So with that, I'll let each and every one of you go. Catch me tomorrow morning if you got time. I'm now starting these mornings. We'll be at 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. That'll give people a little bit more time to have their breakfast and have a cup of coffee before I go live. And I will be preaching the gospel on Tuesday and Wednesday and on Saturday night. With that, God bless you all. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank each and every one of you. Tony, let me holler at you there. All right, Rhonda, I appreciate it. Earl, I appreciate it. There's my buddy Tennessee Smokey. Did you see where I changed my name there, Tennessee Smokey? Back to the original. Good night, Uncle Sasquatch. Peter, good night, buddy. Thomas, good night, buddy. All right, folks. Take care. I'll holler at you later.